Hello everyone. Today we delve into a critical paradigm shift in performance marketing, profit-based bidding. Most businesses currently rely on Revenue ROAS as their primary North Star, but this is often a fundamental strategic error. When your product margins fluctuate significantly, sometimes by as much as 60% across your catalog, a revenue-focused algorithm will inadvertently prioritize your least profitable sales. This presentation will explain why Revenue ROAS is the wrong target for most businesses and how feeding the algorithm actual profit data changes everything. We will move beyond top-line vanity metrics to focus on profit optimization, bidding strategy, and the technical shift toward POAS. By the end of this session, you will understand how to realign your bidding with your actual business goals to ensure that every dollar spent is a true investment in your bottom line. To understand the core issue, let us examine how Revenue ROAS optimizes for the wrong outcome through a comparative example. Consider Product A, a low-margin item, and Product B, a high-margin item. Product A has a high sale price of 2,000 rupees but carries an 80% cost base, leaving only a 20% margin. At a 500 rupee ad spend, it shows a 4.0x Revenue ROAS, which looks excellent on a dashboard. However, the actual profit ROAS is 0.8x. You are effectively losing money on every sale. Conversely, Product B has a lower sale price of 1,500 rupees but a robust 65% margin. Its Revenue ROAS is 3.0x, which appears worse to a standard algorithm. Yet, its actual profit ROAS is 1.95x, making it highly profitable. Revenue-centric bidding rewards the loser and punishes the winner because the algorithm is blind to the costs hidden behind the price tag. The consequences of this disconnect are severe and immediate. Smart bidding is a relentless optimizer. If you provide the wrong target, it will expertly drive your business toward lower profitability. First, it overinvests in low-margin winners. Seeing a high Revenue ROAS for Product A, the algorithm floods it with budget, scaling your least profitable segments simply because the revenue looks strong. Second, it underinvests in true profit drivers like Product B, starving them of budget because they look worse on a revenue-only basis. Finally, it learns to chase discounts and promotions. High revenue, low-margin orders from deal seekers look highly attractive to a revenue bidder, but they erode your financial health. The algorithm isn't broken. It is doing exactly what you asked. The fundamental problem is you asked for revenue when you actually meant profit. To fix this, we must shift from Revenue ROAS to Profit ROAS, often referred to as POAS. This single change realigns your bidding with your actual business goals. While the old model optimizes for total revenue generated, the new model optimizes for total gross profit. Instead of sending raw order revenue as the conversion value, we pass order profit, calculated as revenue minus the cost of goods sold. This allows the system to recognize that a 1,500 rupee order with a 65% margin is worth 975 rupees to the business, whereas a 2,000 rupee order with a thin margin is worth only 400. Consequently, budget flows naturally toward high-profit products. This shift ensures that scaling your advertising actually protects your margins rather than eroding them in a blind race for top-line volume. Implementing profit-based bidding does not require perfect per-order data immediately. You can start by calculating gross margins per category. If per SKU data is too complex, group your inventory into 3 to 5 margin tiers. Next, pass this profit data as your conversion value into your Google and Meta tags via your data layer. Third, leverage value rules. Tools like Google Conversion Value Rules allow you to adjust these values based on audience segments, geography, or device type on top of your base margin. Finally, retarget your campaigns on POAS. Switch your bidding strategy to maximize conversion value or target ROAS, but set your targets based on profit payback, not raw revenue. Even a simple blended margin applied to all conversions is superior to raw revenue optimization. You can always refine to more granular tiers as your data matures. While profit bidding is powerful, it is important to understand the nuances of when Revenue ROAS might still be sufficient. Revenue ROAS is generally a reasonable proxy if your margins are uniform across all products, if you sell a single SKU, or if you operate a subscription model with fixed unit economics. It is also acceptable if your margin variance is minimal, typically under 10% across the catalog. However, profit bidding becomes essential when margins vary widely, when you run frequent discounts, or when you sell a mix of high-margin and low-margin lines. It is particularly critical for marketplace sellers operating at thin margins or businesses where accessory and bundle margins differ significantly from their hero products. Complexity should only be added when the risk of misallocation is high, but for most modern e-commerce brands, that risk is substantial. In conclusion, we must follow the profit-based bidding playbook to stay competitive. Start by preparing your data, pull gross margins, and identify your highest margin lines. Move to implementation by passing profit values as conversion values and switching your bidding strategies to focus on profit targets. Finally, optimize the system by watching the budget shift toward high-margin products and refreshing your data quarterly as costs change. Remember this: revenue is vanity, but profit is sanity. In a competitive digital landscape, you cannot afford to let an algorithm efficiently buy your least profitable sales. You must bid on the numbers that actually pay the bills. By feeding the algorithm profit, you empower it to grow your bottom line, not just your revenue. Thank you for your time, and let us focus on driving true, profitable growth. If your advertising isn't delivering the results you expect, the problem may not be the budget, it may be the strategy. At Namster Marketing, we help businesses turn advertising into a predictable growth engine. Book a free consultation with our team, and let's explore how we can help scale your results.